$5,000 on the Texans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like on the
I mean,
Texans?
they're. I mean, it's in the same division, but
I don't
fuck the
think so.
Ravens.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Are we doing a
God, I
little?
hate it.
No.
We only needed one.
Oh, we didn't work on that.
Okay, well, we're good. I think Ryan's is the first one, so you should be
Yeah,
good.
there's like 6 on that screen.
Yeah. Well,
Well, welcome to the. Oh, we start shooting right now.
we shoot first. Cheers,
Cheers.
boys.
I don't think. Okay. Well.
Close enough.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Salute.
That went down the wrong pipe.
Yeah, well, it didn't get any better from the other night.
Now I got the taste. Oh, I'm gonna puke everywhere.
That went down.
Do
the
not.
Dude, that went down
Hold it.
Ooh, that went down the wrong pipe.
Went down the what?
Wrong pipe.
Bad
Well, guys, welcome to the Not So Round podcast.
Bad
Not So Round Table podcast. Everybody's choking and dying.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
You gonna make it?
I'm like, my lungs burn.
Oh, you better start crying.
Yeah, dude, it hurt.
No, bad memories. Bad memories.
Yeah, I would say.
What do you mean bad memories? What'd you get sick off of? Obviously,
That.
tequila. No, what
Not
brand?
this one.
What brand? You remember?
I think it was silver.
Patron.
Yeah.
Boom. I love it.
That's a good one.
Well, guys, welcome back to the podcast. We have a couple new ones on here that y'all have probably seen on the YouTube channel. So we got Madison and Ryan. They decided to actually join us.
These will be your
Shit.
your main host
Main
too.
host,
It'll be
yeah.
the 4 of us most of the time.
And then obviously you've got David and myself. So we're just going to hang out for a little bit and shoot the shit and go from there. So I know all of a sudden we got dumped on with snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So-
pretty
About
bad.
5 inches. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, been a nice little bit, but went from being nice and warm and sunny to, what is it, like
Not so
10
much.
degrees out right now?
Sunny, but like
Hell, it's probably less than that.
it's right now it's 12 right now.
Well,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's supposed to keep dropping.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, excuse me.
being
Bar none
fun,
in the
and
negatives.
I'm still disappointed in all of us because we didn't do the first bit of off-roading.
No.
No.
I was out of
Well,
town and got no snow.
Well,
and-
Toyota kept braking.
Well, the Jeep
You,
ain't
if
much
you
better.
quit breaking it.
Well, listen, it doesn't like me.
Yeah, Toyota's not like him. We've established that it misses its owner.
Well, mine's still sitting underneath the
I mean,
carports.
you could go
It's
in
getting there.
rear-wheel drive,
Yeah, it's rear wheel and not full wheel.
just full send.
Because me and Ryan are gonna pull you. We'll come pull you out if you get stuck.
Yeah, he's got the Yoda. We pulled everybody else out
Well,
before,
okay,
so
let's load it on a trailer and let's go.
Just drive to the mountain. What are you talking about?
And then Ryan decided to break his rear end mysteriously.
I've had a rough week. Break the rear end.
Throwing a
Got
rod.
Got off work close. I got off work the other day. Drove to. Actually, I took one of my employees home. Then made it to my dad's house, and I've got an overheating issue, and 230 degrees. I'm like, what the hell? It's 5 degrees outside, and I'm overeating here. So, at first, I thought maybe thermostat was stuck or something. So I took the thermostat out, tried to run it without it. That didn't fix it. And then I said, you know what, screw it. I left it at my parents' house for the night. Then next day, got off work. I was like, all right, it's got to be a water pump if it's not like that. So started screwing around with the water pump, replaced it. Nothing. I'm like, what the crap? So then I take the cap off the radiator, look down at the radiator, saw a chunk of ice. I'm like, oh crap.
Toyota currently.
So trying to figure out what to do. It's 5 degrees outside. We're pushing like 9 o'clock at night. Me, Chris, and Dakota are out there about to die. Finally, we get the radiator out, take it downstairs and my parents' house and pull one of the hot water lines off their dryer. Shove it in the radiator and then blast it out. The amount of rust, water, and chunks of whatever that came out of that radiator. Probably my issue in the summer when I run a little bit hot in the summer too. So, yeah. So that probably goes back to when I first did the swap. I'm sure there was something in the block or something and shot it in the radiator.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The only way to find out is, wait till summertime and
I mean,
Yeah.
flush it.
That's honestly what we do to Toyota.
is a good flush because I know the radiator on the Toyota's new, but it doesn't really help a lot whenever Apparently it was frozen when you looked in it this morning.
Well, yeah, that was after I got here. So I started up this morning because I had to go get him because it was snowing and the roads were covered up. And I let it idle out front of my house, and I went out to get it to drive away, and the temperature gauge was like pretty much almost into the red, and I was like, well, that's kind of strange. It hasn't done anything but sit still.
With it being 15 degrees out.
I turned it off, popped the hood, and there was coolant coming, like spewing out of the overflow hose. So I was like, okay, well, it's definitely fucking overheating. So I drove it. I was like, okay, maybe if I drive it, it'll cool down. I started driving it. I got halfway to his house, and then all of a sudden the temperature gauge dropped instantly, and then the heater got really hot because it was blowing pretty much cold the halfway to his house, and then it just got really hot. And I'm like, okay, the thermostat was definitely stuck.
It was frozen, I'm sure.
And then I kept driving, and I would coast it, and the temperature would be fine. It'd stay halfway like it usually is, but if I put any kind of load onto it, it'll just start climbing again.
Yeah,
so
I noticed
like,
in like fourth gear.
I was like, okay, it's definitely probably low on coolant. So we picked him up, came back here to the shop, and then we let it cool down, went and did some stuff, came back, opened the cap on the radiator, and I just seen like a little bit of fluid, and it was all frozen. And I'm like, well, there's the problem. So gotta put some more coolant into it, and hopefully that'll fix it. We need to flush the thing.
That thing needs a lot of like just preventative maintenance and maintenance in general.
Yeah. Like but earlier this week, when it first started really snowing, the next day it got to it was like 8 degrees outside, and I started up in the morning. The bell started squealing really loud, and I was like, okay, that's different. And I let it run for a little bit, and the squealing started to get a little bit quieter. So I was like, okay, maybe the bell's just cold. It needs to heat up and stuff. So I started walking in. As I was walking in, I got to my steps to my house, and all of a sudden the squealing stopped, and then the RPMs just jumped up on the Toyota. So I was like, okay, that's really weird. So I walked out, opened the cab. It's filled with smoke, smells like ass. I'm like, okay, something's wrong. Turned it off, popped the hood again, popped the hood, and the belt had removed itself from the vehicle. Fast forward, I ordered another belt from Advance and went to put it on, and it was an alternator belt, and the alternator was hanging on for dear life. Like every mounting bolt to it was loose. It was like kind of crooked, and I'm like, well, that's the issue. So now that a little quirk about this thing that it used to have is whenever you would drive, if you got above a certain RPM, I don't know,
shift light.
The bell would squeal. Yeah. This is when you need the shift. So now that everything's installed properly, it doesn't squeal. So
we're just giving it a few more miles.
I mean, it's just trying to kill everybody. I mean,
it is.
No, it just doesn't like David. I mean, think about it. We took it to Windrock, beat the piss out of it. I pulled multiple vehicles out for long periods of time, pulled them and everything. Never once did the engine do anything to have any issues. Never overheated. Soon as David starts driving it, starts leaking fluids, leaking oil. Then Jenny gets all mad. Then you break a belt. Now it's overheated. There was another issue you had when you first had it. It had done something else because there's been like 4 or 5 things that have happened since you had.
I think that was the fluid leaking was the main issue before because it was all over the driveway.
Then it's doing power steering fluid out of the rack.
Yeah.
I don't know. It reminds me when you guys sit there and talk about all the cooling issues and stuff. It reminds me with my Jeep when me and you went to go try an off road, and we were going down the road down here. And things started overheating, had to pull over.
I think we chased that problem for a few days, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, because we
replaced everything.
Yeah,
turned out to be radiator.
Yeah,
well, that was the same issue with the FJ.
Yep.
Is somehow we had dented the bottom of the radiator, even though there's a skid pan.
That was at Windrock.
It's at Windrock, and so I remember we turned it into a geyser.
Yeah.
Trying to get it to cool down and everything. And
that was at the campsite.
Yeah, at the campsite. Because then we ended up having to replace, we thought it was a thermostat, and replace the thermostat in like 110 degree weather in a McDonald's parking lot. I'm talking about a cursed trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and then the alternator for yours.
Yeah, the thrown alternator.
Was that the same? That was the same trip.
Side by side.
Huh?
The alternator was that what you're
No,
talking
the
about?
alternator for your
was that
Jeep.
the same trip that we
Wasn't
sunk
it the
a Jeep
Pike, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the same trip we sunk Pike's Jeep.
with his snorkel that was
Yes.
broken underneath
Yes.
the Jeep?
But I had to
Yeah.
push you out of the McDonald's drive-through because it quit working because the
Mhm.
alternator went out.
That's when you had the JK.
yeah, the silver one.
Yep.
Keep it down over there, audience.
Yeah, we've got an audience over here that want to be a part of the podcast. So.
He's too good for us. You too, buddy. You too.
Nice. Not nice at all.
But I miss our off-road trips, though. I mean, which granted, this time
We-
last year we were up there.
No,
Yeah.
but we need a good camping trip because
I'm
we
telling
have
you,
not.
summer,
Not
Not-
this week.
Not this
No,
week.
not this week.
Not until
No.
after AJ.
Hey, I don't know. We'll be there.
Can't talk about that right now.
Seriously, this upcoming summer, like we need to go like to the mountain, the Wind Rock River, and seriously go camping. I've been wanting to go camping.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll get a tent or a couple tents and go for a weekend and stuff. And
Yeah. Down
Take
there.
the rigs and just disappear somewhere.
Yeah, down there at Lake Bottom, got that nice area.
Yeah, we can get whatever vehicle stuck in that mud hole and just leave it there
Yeah.
while we camp. It'll be fine.
Yep. Just camp on top of the vehicle when you
Yeah.
get it stuck.
That's what I got the Yoda for. So
Yeah, we'll have a good old time this summer and do some stuff like that. Mm.
Yeah, we'll probably throw a schedule together and throw it out. Way people knows that we'll have videos and stuff coming of those
All sorts
trail
of
rides
stuff.
and stuff like that. So
Yeah, so keep an eye out on the YouTube channel, the YouTube channel, because we're gonna have all sorts of
Having a stroke?
a little bit. We're gonna have some videos of off road working on stuff, video games, pretty much the whole shebang. We'll have on there, whole dinner plate. Never
Whole
heard-
dinner-
you never heard,
dinner
you ever heard
plate.
of that analogy?
Speak-
He's
speaking
ready for
of-
dinner, but
yeah. Speaking of,
Shit, I pulled up DoorDash and never ordered anything.
right there.
here we are waiting for the pizza guy.
yeah.
Well, ask the pizza guy if he wants to be on the
Listen.
podcast.
I ain't got no fat on my bones. I need some food.
All he thinks about is food.
I eat a shit ton of food and I don't gain anything. So
I'm the
must
same way.
be nice.
That's like, I was like last night. Me and him played. We're playing video games, and I had dinner. I was like, I'm eating. He's like, what are you eating? I'm like, well, I got me like a big bacon king from Burger King, like a medium, a large 5-member, like a chicken fry, a large Dr Pepper.
well, I mean that's
Milk-
literally that's
milkshake,
literally.
onion
Yeah, a little bit of
rings.
everything.
Like, dude,
Chicken
I
nuggets.
miss bulking
I
days.
had like
well, no,
three
I mean,
meals
but
in
that's
one.
literally what I would do. I'd be working with him, and I'd have a Big Mac, a quarter pounder, 10-piece, and I'd eat all that shit,
Yeah.
and I guess I'm just shitting it all out.
It ain't going anywhere else.
Can't go anywhere.
It's one heck of a problem. Like I buy food to last me a few days, but I end up just eating it all in one day.
Shit.
You got, what,
That's-
3 sleeves of rice cakes?
Yeah, I bought
Hey,
3 sleeves.
that's
of
what my
rice
kids are, man.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Buy $100 in snacks and stuff, and they're going that
Yeah,
night.
Dude, you make muffins
You
for
just
them,
wait
they're
till
gone
they get
instantly.
older, buddy.
At least the snack cakes right now, yeah.
Snack cakes or muffins
Yeah.
or cupcakes.
Mini muffins.
Yo. Phew, Lord. Yeah, we went to the Envious thing today and hung out and watched some cars get bannered and stuff. I don't have the patience for that.
No, vinyl's a different thing. That's why I'm no longer doing triangles on my car. I'm over it.
After they got torn up.
I mean, I was on the fence about peeling them off anyways, so
Right.
I mean, it could be worse. You could have triangled your whole entire car.
That's true.
like
And
Mike,
peel
and
it
then have
all,
to
and
well,
then
yeah.
dedicate the time to peel it all back off.
There's still like a group of triangles on his back, like the rear end of that thing. He
Oh,
hasn't
is
peeled
there
off
really?
yet. Yeah, if you.
Oh, just because the sun had faded all the paint.
No,
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 like
it's
actual
the
triangles
triangles are
still
still
there.
there because he hasn't peeled them off yet. Yeah.
Oh.
But like it's wild because if you see the car in the sun, it's like the paint has a texture to it. It's really weird.
Looks like scales.
Yeah.
I guess I need to order.
Yeah.
Have you not done
Preferably.
that yet?
I'm working
Big
on
Madison,
it.
Madison is gonna die.
Before old
Listen.
Skeletor over here.
No, I'm gonna start get cranky.
No, not you.
He's naturally cranky.
Let's see.
Oh.
So, David, your car. How much longer we got?
Well, it goes into the body shop in 2 weeks. So hopefully within the month of February I'll have it back. Is the
Nice.
hope. Is the hope. Keyword.
And a lot of big things coming for his car.
Yeah, I'm gonna bag it.
But are you gonna do that while it's in the shop?
Once I'm gonna wait till I get it back.
Gotcha.
There's a chance, depending on money and taxes and all that stuff, there's a chance that once we get it back, it's immediately going to go into our shop and get bagged. Or there's a chance I'll have to wait a few months and save up because bags. Because it's like 13 or 14. It's 13.
Just don't pay your house payment. It'll be fine.
It's $1,300 or $1,400 just for the bag kit, but then I have to buy the air management, which is going to be another $600 to $1,300.
Yeah,
So bag.
What air management system are you going to
$2,500
go with?
I was talking to Tanner today. He said go the Airlift 3P because it's apparently like the cream of the crop, like the best. It'll like it. Like if it's leaking, it throws a fault code for it, and it'll tell you it's leaking.
Oh, nice.
Like so, it's really nice kit. So I don't know. I thought about going a cheaper route, but then
See,
again, I'm like, might just need to spend the money.
I just don't know enough about all the airbags.
Yeah, see, I don't either. That's why I asked him. I was like, I'm probably gonna end up phoning a friend. He's like, dude, just let me know if I want to do anything. He's like, I'll come to y'all's shop and help you install it all.
Well, and then
Yeah.
you've got the guy that had the MR2 there that he did his
Oh,
own
Matt,
too,
yeah.
so he could come help.
Yeah.
See, the Jeep is way too tall to be able to, airbag.
I was about to say, we go the opposite
Yeah.
direction.
You go up instead of down. Yeah.
Which I guess you could, well,
Hey, if you put big enough put tractor trailer bags on
that's
it.
what I was about to say. I guess if you use the right bags, you could do this. You go up with
What's the airbag? Or it's not really an airbag, but it's like a jack. You know that orange one that they put under vehicles and they air it up and
Oh,
it jacks
yeah.
the vehicle up. We'll just put those on all four corners.
Yeah, yeah.
And just jack.
I saw,
Gonna need a heck
or
of a
just,
phone.
or just replace the put in between your spring and the mount. It's like a scissor jack, one little scissor
I
jack.
saw it. Sure,
Oh,
Just
it's
run
like
it back and
adjustable.
it's adjustable.
Just need a motor.
Yeah.
Sit there and screw it.
Just somehow wire
take a
in.
drill to each corner.
Yeah, or just somehow wire in like
I can see
Phil Milwaukee 1/2-inch impacts to it with a toggle switch for up or
I
down.
can see Madison on Winter Rock now. Hold on, guys.
I gotta jack up.
Well, did you? Oh, see, I know it was a while back, but Whistling Diesel did a video that it was like an electronic, like adjustable height thing. I don't know if it was hydraulic or what, but he continued to put more and more batteries to it to make it faster.
Oh, yeah,
but then
really?
eventually burnt the system up.
See, I haven't
but,
seen that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But, I mean,
But I
hey,
could
it
could
worked.
see him. I'd be like, hey, jump out your Jeep and jack this up.
That sounds like me putting mine in 4-wheel drive right now.
Well, heck, that was you putting yours in drive earlier this week.
That's true too. That's true too.
You had to
But hey,
jump out to put it in park
on the
or
plus
anything.
side, I have a first gear now.
That's a plus.
Imagine having that issue, like you get pulled over by a cop and he's like, put the vehicle in park. To be like, hey, can you just jump
crawl
under
under
there
here?
and go in the park for me?
Yeah.
They're like, officer, can you put it in park?
I was like,
You
in
gotta
other
get
words,
underneath
turn
it.
it off, and I'm gonna call a tow truck.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, mine wasn't too far off. I mean, there wasn't too long where you had to,
Yeah.
adjust it. Mine from park to
Yeah, we
know,
were
drive
adjusting
and
it
all
constantly, trying to get yours lined
Yeah,
up.
That was a pain,
where you
yeah.
were. Yeah.
Mine's a little easier. Mine's just a slide. It's got a reset spring basically. So you just got to take it and pull it away from the spring and then set your pin. So it's not as difficult.
Could you not do something like that? Something a little easier?
I mean, he could, but he
Well, I've
he
already
can't do
swapped all my stuff where
Yeah,
it's all full menu valve
Just,
body.
yeah,
rather than-
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So I can't.
Well, mine
really do it.
essentially would be the same. I just don't have as expensive of a setup.
Everything, yeah.
Allegedly.
So yeah, wait till Ashley finds out about how much you spent.
No, we just don't tell
That's
them.
that's.
We're just kidding, Ashley.
We
If you're
ain't
watching,
worried
we're
about
just kidding.
No, it's like $3,000.
You tore your front lip off of your car.
You got it on
3
sale.
days. 3 days after putting a front splitter on my car, it decided to exit Chad on the interstate. Like literally 2-3 days, enough to take a couple pictures of it.
However that
Hey.
happened.
But hey, the grill
I really don't know.
and the things that are on your rear view mirrors.
They look
If
great.
we added 2 wings to the back, it would look like the Batmobile.
Yes.
Let's do it. Just put 2 jet engines on the back. That's what we need.
Yeah.
That's
what do
not
you-
what you need.
Listen,
Yes, it is.
Listen, what do you mean you don't know how? Because when I had that Mustang and it was low as hell, I do when I screwed it up.
No, honestly. So what happened is like I went to church, so I ran up from exit 14 to exit 19, got off, drove all the way to church. It never made a noise or anything. Then coming back from church, stopped in 8, and then I got on the interstate there at exit 19, and got up into the left lane to pass a couple vehicles, probably doing about 80, and all of a sudden I just heard. Like it flapping. I'm like, what is that? And I was like, oh no. I'm like, okay. Or no, actually, I did notice it started flapping on the way from church to lunch because I remember I saw whenever I got out to eat with Dad, we were looking at it. There was a piece of it that had, like one or two of the screws had backed out, and it was hanging a little lower, and there was a crack through it. It was like, okay, no big deal. I can trim that out and still salvage it. I'm like, well, I'll get it back to the shop and go from there, run those screws in or whatever, and I get on the interstate, and then all of a sudden it starts flapping hard. I'm like, oh no. But I'm like, at this point, I'm still having to go to Kingsport to pick Emily up, so I'm like, I'm running, not behind, but I'm like on that time crunch. She gets off at 3, it's already like 2 something. Like, okay. So I'm like on the way here, and I'm going like 50 miles an hour, or like tucking in right behind a vehicle, because when I tuck in, it'd quit. Because I guess the aerodynamics weren't pushing down on it. So I was like on car's ass. Like the whole way here. And they'd move out of the way or something. I'm like, no. Or I'd be going like 50 miles an hour. Just under that speed limit, it wouldn't flap. I got here and pulled in. There was like a 2-foot section of it that was just ground down from it smacking the ground and the asphalt, just grinding it. And I just finally jumped in the truck, ran to Kingsport, got her, came back here and tore it off. So I guess I'll probably just use it as a template and make my own. But literally 3 days. Had it on there for 3 days.
Mine would have a similar issue where I had a 98 Mustang GT.
4.6?
Yeah, the 4.6, it was a Roush edition. So it had the body kit and all that
those
sort of
ground
deal.
effects.
Yeah, so occasionally the end of it would fall down. And so I'd have to go and, fix it. And usually it would happen when I'd hit, roadkill or something like that.
Quit killing animals.
Well,
how many times do you have to hit and kill something for you to be like, it usually only happens when this happens?
Oh, well.
He's
Was
just an
that
animal
before?
killer.
Well, listen.
Was that before or after you dropped it off of a 2-foot curve?
Listen. When
Don't avoid the question before or after.
Listen, okay? When you're going down the road at like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning to go open a store, she just kind of runs out in front of you, and you ain't got no time. It's just fa-funk.
Yeah, Ryan knows all about that.
Yeah.
Deer
mine wasn't just a thunk. Mine was a
Kathunk guardrail.
Kathunk guardrail and axle bent back.
I think I've hit a possum before.
But listen, you got some free parts out of that. Or not free parts, but
Allegedly.
yeah.
Allegedly.
Dude, I don't
No
know how
insurance
many
for all
groundhogs I've like center punched with my exhaust. Like, because I'll go to dodge them with like the wheels, and I'm like, okay, I've cleared it, and then you'll just hear, and it's just the exhaust where it's the lowest point on my car as the muffler hits. I'm just waiting for it to have a stench one day.
Yeah, that's like the one time I hit the possum in my car. I was on my way home from. It was me, Maddie, I think Buster and Karen were in the car, and we were on our way home after we went to, I think it was O'Mannon's one night. It was like
There was your first mistake.
1 o'clock in the morning. I was driving home. It wasn't alive at first. It was just dead at first. It wasn't alive at first. So I listen. It went under.
Played dead.
This is okay. So this was my car was low already. This is before I completely dumped it. So there was a little bit of ground clearance underneath it. So I went over it. I saw it too late. I couldn't dodge it. So it went under the center of my car. It cleared all of it until I have this like little this exhaust piece underneath it with a hanger that's in the center, and it just went. Bam! And like shook the freak out of the car, and then like Buster's like, "That didn't sound good." And I'm like, "No, it didn't, bud." And I put it on a lift the next day at work or whatever, and the exhaust hanger, like the arms that go into the bushing, are like all bent back. There's fur all over the ends of the car, and I'm like, "Damn!" It's still bent to this day. I just didn't bother bending it back. And I was like,
It was the old exhaust hangers.
No, it was. I mean, they're still there.
Well, I meant was it the ones for your factory?
Fur
exhaust?
Yeah. No, fur's gone. Fur's gone. I cleaned that off. It is there.
Did you imagine you lift up a car one day and there's a whole possum hanging from an exhaust hanger?
No.
There's one dude that works the dealership. He pulled into the dealership, and I was just parking to What? Oh, I was just parking to go into work. This was like 7:45 in the morning, and I saw a dude's truck pull in. There's something in the grill. I was like, well, that's really weird. So I got out. One of the techs that works there with me was like, "Do you see that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, there's something in his grill." We walked up. There's a bird lodged into his grill, and I'm like, "Dude, there's a bird in your grill." He's like, "What?" He's like, "I was like, look," and there's like literally like it was like a pigeon or something stuck in his grill. It's dead, of course. And he's like, "Oh, I didn't even know I hit one." I'm like, "Ow!" Had to hear that thing thump whenever it went in there.
I don't know why, but that reminded me of a story. I was heading home from McDonald's, right? And I was in that Mustang that I was just talking about.
She sent a message.
So, I was heading home, and this is a 4-lane highway. Start going down the road, window down, cruising with the radio on, just hanging out, and then this big truck comes by, and there's this raccoon that had ballooned in the middle of the road.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Oh no! I know where this is going.
No.
Did it pop when you hit it?
Oh my god, no. So I started going down, and this truck hit it right as I was beside it.
Oh god!
Oh my god. And the thing exploded right there, all on my arm, on everything. I was like, oh no.
My man has PTSD.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Back in
anytime.
Vietnam.
Yeah.
He's been in therapy for
Needless to say, I went home and I got in the shower.
At least it was a small animal, though.
Oh yeah, if it was like a deer or something like that.
Oh my god, it was so bad. Oh man,
It's almost as bad as the chunk.
chunk. Oh, okay. Well, we'll get into that on the next
Yeah,
podcast.
I think that's about enough for this one.
Thanks for watching the Not So Roundtable podcast. We are your hosts, David, Landon, Ryan,
Daddy.
Madison.
Don't start that. Ignore him.
We'll see you guys in the next one.
Catch you on the next time.
See ya.
See ya.